I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am continuing reading in a chronological order, according to event, not according to publication or volume, so I'm skipping around a bit as I move along. We continue reading in the Gospels. We are in the last few months of Christ's mortal ministry. It is now the Feast of Tabernacles. This is in the 7th month of the year. I believe this would fall sometime in late October or early November on our modern calendar. Christ's family told him he should go down to Jerusalem because there were a lot of people who believed in him there, and he should prove his messiahship there as well as in Galilee, but he said, "You go ahead." And then he snuck down in secret, passing through Samaria on the way, but he snuck down in secret and just kind of listened to what all the people were saying about him before he said anything. He was there, nobody knew he was there. He was just, you might say, a fly on the wall situation where he was just listening in. That's where we left it off. Now we're going to be reading several videos in the book of John. In this video, we have a Joseph Smith translation. Now, what the Joseph Smith translation is, this is a translation or correction done by Joseph Smith to restore those passages that have been lost or corrupted over the years. Haven't been reading a lot of John so far, but now we are in John chapter 7. In this video, we will read verses 14 through 36. Now, about the midst of the feast, Jesus went up into the temple and taught. And the Jews marveled, saying, "How knoweth this man letters, having never learned?" Jesus answered them and said, "My doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. If any man will do his will, he shall know the doctrine, whether it be of God, or whether I speak of myself. He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. But he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him." Let's pause there a moment, because this is a very true principle here. A lot of people say, "Oh, I want to believe, but I just can't." So you can, because faith is not an expression of belief. That's not what faith is. Do I believe in God? Yes. Do I have faith in God is a different question. And what Christ is saying here is, if you want to know if the principles that I am teaching are true, it doesn't matter if you believe in God. Do what I'm telling you to do, and the result will prove God exists. And that's what people in the modern day don't. They want the proof first, and then they'll act on it. And that's what they mean when they say, "I just can't believe." It's that they're not willing to put forth the effort. They're not willing to exercise faith until they have proof. And Christ here is saying, I'm teaching you. If you want to know what I'm teaching you is true, act on it. Do what I'm telling you to. That's what I tell people. If you want to believe in God, if you want to believe, like Alma said, if you have just the desire to believe, act on the Word. Don't just read it, don't just listen to it and say, "Yeah, that's nice." Do what it says to do. And eventually, if you are persistent, just like with anything else, it may take several years, but if you are persistent, you will start seeing a noticeable change in your life. And as you see that change, as your life expands, as your knowledge and your joy increases, you will start seeing that this is true. And that's what Christ is teaching here. Remember the name in the Syrian, he had no faith, and he rejected the word that Elisha told him to wash 7 times in the Jordan River. But after he did what was required, after he acted, he saw the result. He was healed, and then he had faith. Then his faith was expanded. That's what Christ is teaching here. Now, at the beginning there, it says, in the midst of the feast, he started teaching. The Feast of Tabernacles is a 7-day-long feast, according to the law of Moses. By this time, they have added an 8th day, which we will talk about later, but when he says the midst of the feast, we're talking day 3 or 4, probably. He's been here for 2 or 3 days, just listening, now he's teaching. We pick this up in verse 19. "Did not Moses give you the law, and yet none of you keepeth the law? Why go ye about to kill me?" The people answered and said, "Thou hast a devil. Who goeth about to kill thee?" Jesus answered and said unto them, "I have done one work, and ye all marvel. Moses therefore gave unto you circumcision, not because it is of Moses, but of the fathers. And ye on the Sabbath day circumcise a man. If a man on the Sabbath day receive circumcision, that the law of Moses should not be broken, are ye angry at me, because I have made a man every whit whole on the Sabbath day? Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. So here Christ is accusing them of not following the law of Moses. And so I've done one work. Now in this one we don't read of him healing anybody, but the last time he was in Jerusalem they got angry at him for healing on the Sabbath. That's why they want to kill him. To them, under the law of Moses, you break the Sabbath day. That is a executing offense. That is a death penalty offense. And so they're seeking to kill him. He's like, well, I've done one good work, and you want to kill me. Who's trying to? The people here don't know that there's a conspiracy to kill Christ. So they're asking, who's trying to kill you? But he's pointing out the hypocrisy here, because according to the law of Moses, you have to circumcise your son when he is 8 days old, and they do this on the Sabbath. If the 8th day falls on the Sabbath, they don't postpone it, and they don't do it early. They do it on the Sabbath. And so, wouldn't that not also be considered a violation of the Sabbath? But he's saying, don't judge by the appearance. Think about it. Consider it. Make righteous judgment, because you're not making any sense. Let us continue again. We're going to verse 25. Then said some of them of Jerusalem, Is not this he whom they seek to kill? But lo, he speaketh boldly, and they say nothing unto him. Do the rulers know indeed that this is the very Christ? Howbeit we know this man whence he is. But when Christ cometh, no man knoweth whence he is. Then cried Jesus in the temple as he taught, saying, Ye both know me, and ye know whence I am. And I am not come of myself, but he that sent me is true, whom ye know not. But I know him, for I am from him, and he hath sent me. Then they sought to take him, but no man laid hands on him, because his hour was not yet come. And many of the people believed on him, and said, When Christ cometh, will he do more miracles than these which this man hath done? So he's getting a bit of a larger following here in Jerusalem, because the people say, wait a minute. He's talking about healing on the Sabbath. Isn't this the one that all the leaders have been talking about, and that they want to kill him for breaking the Sabbath? But why aren't they saying anything? Why aren't they responding to him? Because all the Pharisees and Sadducees are silent in public here. They don't want to answer him. And this is causing the people to think maybe this is the Christ. Maybe they know it's the Christ, and that's why they're not doing anything. We finish it out now, verse 32. And the Pharisees heard that the people murmured such things concerning him, and the Pharisees and the chief priests sent officers to take him. Then said Jesus unto them, Yet a little while am I with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. Ye shall seek me, and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come. Then said the Jews among themselves, Whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles, and teach the Gentiles? What manner of saying is this, that he said, Ye shall seek me, and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come? Christ is saying here, first of all, it's not his time yet. They can't arrest him yet. It's not time. The Jews, the leaders, the Pharisees and the high priests, they hear the murmurings of the people. The people are starting to say, well, if the high priests and the Pharisees aren't doing anything, then maybe this is the Christ. And so they're, we got to go arrest him to put this down. You got to show the people that this isn't Christ. And they go out to arrest him, and Christ says, it's not time yet. And then he prophesies his death and resurrection, and he is telling the Pharisees here that they're not going to go to heaven. Because where he goes, they cannot follow. The righteous will follow God, and they will inherit heaven eventually. But Christ is telling the Pharisees, you're not going to make it. And the people are all wondering about that. This is a confusing saying to them. They don't understand what Christ is talking about. But now, let us look at the Joseph Smith translation. Anything of interest? Let's see, in verse 24, this is in that renders it, judge not according to your traditions, instead of to the appearance. So he is outright condemning the traditions of the Jews, the oral tradition or the tradition of the elders, which he got into a controversy over earlier. He's saying, you have created traditions that are not right. Follow the righteous judgment as outlined in the law of Moses, not according to your traditions. And then in 36, yet a little while am I with you, but we have the correction, yet a little while I am with you. Minor grammatical correction, and those are the only two in the entire section. So we leave it here, and I will see you in the next one. We are still in John next.